Greetings everyone, I am the goddess known as Jackie Gates. Today we're going to talk about fear. Fear and doing it anyway. Now, there's so many sayings that go on about this, people talk about fear all the time. And we're not talking about life and death fear here. We're talking about really, if you hear somebody breaking into your house and stuff, that's a different kind of fear. What I'm talking about here is the what if fear. The fear of looking stupid. The fear of falling flat on your face. The fear of doing something and possibly being successful and then falling on your face. The fear that you might not be enough. The fear that you're going to make a big mistake that you can't recover from. All these things are what if fears. They're fears that because we give them focus, because we talk about them, because we think about them, they get bigger and bigger. What happens when you get presented with a fabulous opportunity? Now, I'm not talking again here, disclaimer, I'm not saying you should jump at every opportunity that you see. But there are times where something so fabulous, so in alignment with your dreams, appears in your life. And you do your due diligence, and the more you do your due diligence, the more you realize just how much it resonates with you. But then the little voices start. Yes, but what if? And it's especially, what's the word I want? It's especially impactful, those what ifs, if you're taking a leap of faith. And even more especially if you're putting money down. Because somehow money isn't a thing, money is an energy. But somehow handing over that amount of money, especially if you happen to have some poverty consciousness or you're not doing so well right now and it seems like a lot of money, or it's the value that you perceive is still nebulous. It hasn't arrived yet. You're buying something on spec, so to speak. Those kind of opportunities can scare the crap out of you, to be honest. It's one of those... What do you trust? Do you trust the what ifs? Or do you trust that resonance inside you? Can you dispense with the fear long enough to say to yourself, it doesn't matter if I fall on my face, because I will get up again because I believe in myself. See, I honestly believe that the antidote to almost all fear is self-confidence, is believing in yourself. The saying goes that you must feel the fear, obviously to learn from it, because if you don't feel the fear, you're cutting yourself off from the very things that are there to teach you. Abraham Hicks talks about fear as a learning mechanism, something to prod you that things are not quite as they should be. So you feel the fear, you learn from it, but you do it anyway. And in the doing it anyway is the self-confidence. But it's almost like a dichotomy, because you need the self-confidence to be able to move forward through the fear. But it's the moving forward through the fear that gives you the self-confidence. Now what I found here is that confidence is like any other muscle. If you start doing little things and doing them well, or to the very best of your ability, and you get approval and admiration and congratulations and feedback for that, you strengthen that confidence muscle. Now, in January of this year, my self-confidence was at an all-time low, and I just quit everything. I went into I'm not doing anything mode. I'm just going to think. What was interesting about that particular mindset is that it was an enough's enough type mindset, and that can be very powerful. I had no idea how valuable it was until now, pretty much, in the past couple of months. But what I started doing was taking little leaps of faith. Nothing so big that if I did it, it was going to make me, and fall on my face, it was going to make me the laughing stock of, my friends or of Facebook or whatever. Just little things. It started with doing something that I knew I was good at, and then moving on to slightly braver things. So, for example, and you all know that I was in the theatre. In the theatre, you start generally in the chorus, and there are chances to step out into the front line of the chorus. Then you get sort of supporting roles. You get to do a little role, and if you do it really well, somebody will remember that and offer you something bigger in the next production. My videos were like that. Each time I did something and pushed my comfort zone, just pushed that bubble a little bit further, I'd get feedback. Some good, some bad. Sometimes nobody would talk to me at all. But the point was that each one strengthened the confidence muscle. So that today, 9 months later, doesn't it sound like I'm giving birth? Anyway, 9 months later, I got offered something huge. Something huge that I had to risk for. That, no, it's not, I'm not going to go and embarrass myself on Facebook or anything. It's not that kind of risk. It's a risk to my comfort zone. It's putting my trust not only in the person that's going to be teaching me, but putting my trust in myself, that I have the confidence. And even if I don't have the confidence, I have the courage to push that fear aside and do what she tells me to do. I have heard of enormous sums of money being paid to coaches and mentors. Sometimes it just seems, you're talking somebody's somebody's annual salary being paid to somebody else per month. It just blows my mind. So the amount of money really doesn't matter. It matters how I perceive it. So my call to you today is to follow my lead. Is to do something that pushes your comfort zone. Do something that scares you a little bit. And then tell me about it later. Give me a comment on Facebook. Send me a message if it's too private. Put a comment on my blog. But just do something. Because, at the end of the day, you will never regret what you do as much as you will regret what you don't do. Today, when I was weighing up this decision, it just so happened that I opened the email and I had my timer, as you see, I had my timer set for the allocated time to go through my email. And it had 59 seconds left when I opened this email. And for some reason, I looked at the timer and I thought, how many more seconds are you going to stay the same? and it was ticking, and it just kept saying, same, 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 same. Because it's the law of the universe. It's the law of nature. If you're not growing, you're dying. I'm not going to start dying so soon. If I have 80, and how many years does it say that you're allocated? I think it's 75 or 80. I'm only halfway through. Middle-aged. Ugh. But you know, I'm done with all the big learning stuff. And I'm done with having to be at my children's beck and call because they're too little to look after themselves. I'm done with being the same as I was yesterday, as I was last week, as I was in January. And I'm going to urge you, encourage you, prod you, push you to not be the same anymore either. Let me know what you do. I'll be there to cheer you on. And I'm hoping that you have a goddess-worthy day.